Download the app from the App and Play Store.
And nowadays, just I think with the music that's coming out, even in Bollywood as well, we're going through that very weird phase of where old songs are being remade. Yeah, you've stayed away from that quite nicely, actually.
Consciously, it was a conscious.
Exactly. What are your thoughts on this whole thing that's happening?
I think I understand why it happens. These are
Please explain it to me why it's happening.
Okay, so the way I look at it is that they're compositions that are evergreen, they've been around, and they'd always be relevant, and they'd be loved, and you kind of want to hear them in a more revised manner, with a better sound, with better equipment, better quality, maybe a more contemporary production. However, I think that at the expense of losing original music, which is new music, new compositions, which kind of dictate each era's pop culture. I think if you stop doing that, then 20 years from now, what is the 2010s and 2020s music? It's just what was there in the 80s and 70s.
Right.
And I think that's kind of scary, because in the past, I think 5 years, most of the chart busters have been remakes.
Exactly.
And so when you look back 20 years later, what will define our successful music? Do we have anything that's absolutely originally our own? And I think that is something to be kept in mind when you're producing. I think producers, I would give a lot of credit to Momin Habbi here, who it's not, for a producer, it's a very easy decision to have a remake, because it's a composition or a song that's already loved, and the risk factor is much less. And at the same time, banking on new songs and completely new melodies, I think requires a lot of courage. And I think we need more producers to be pushing composers to do that. Only then will you have more original music coming out.
Completely agree. Marina, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's composing a song from an older melody is not that bad too, but of course there has to be a balance. There has to be more new music and less of that. Like, for example, sometimes why we do it, like the first song that was something like that was for Humsafar, Wo Humsafar Tha, which was like one of my favorite melodies, and Abda ji had sung it. But sometimes you want a song that you love to be done in a new way for the younger generation, so that they should also hear it, because there's a certain age group that's hearing it, but for the younger generation you need it to be for them. So that way, then it has a wider appeal and a wider range of an audience. But yes, there should be more of new music and very less of these older melodies composed again for the new audience.
I'd just like to add to that, which is that the times I want to remake certain songs from the past. It's they have so much value, and as you said, there are melodies which I'd hear from the 60s and 70s, and whether the English songs or Urdu, Hindi songs, and you realize that, oh wow, this can be out today and it'll be doing really, really well. It's just that if that decision is taken from a place of purely lack of risk, I think that's wrong. Because then you're actually stunting any creative growth by doing that.
I think this is like an everyday discussion that I have on the show about like music, because obviously we play so much of it, and then when you see and hear these old songs and they're just being revamped, and you just think, why is that happening? But good to know your opinion on that.
The app available from the App and Play Store.